Christ is risen. First, I would like to thank His Eminence Metropolitan Ishaq Barakat for the beautiful initiative in organizing this event that sheds light on our hope in regard of our beloved Archbishop Paul, Archbishop John, and all our precious kidnapped persons. In addition, I would like to thank Reverend Father Basil Khamis for inviting me to share a personal experience with Sayyidina Boulos. I'm sure that speaking about His Eminence not only preserves alive his memory in our hope, but also confirms it while everyone is enduring these hard times in a different way. The first experience that comes to my mind is a common one to all of us. It relates to this disturbing absence of His Eminence, which makes us complain from time to time. Why do we not know anything about him? Nevertheless, God has never left the case of the righteous in oblivion. I was astonished to find the answer to this pertinent question in one of Archbishop Paul's beautiful messages. Security does not lie in knowing the future, but in knowing that the future is in God's hands. In his spiritual guidance, Archbishop Paul always teaches how to trust in God, to throw away the fear, and to face difficulties through accepting hardship and working with hope. To young people who approached him with a certain anxiety, Sayyidina Boulos used to suggest them with a lovely and energetic tone. What about this life? It's just a cross and a masbah, that is rosary of prayer. By the time I understood the meaning of this phrase, the cross is the way we choose to serve and to live with Christ, while the use of the rosary for prayer is the symbol of the opening of our being to God's will and providence. We can find the meaning of the cross and the rosary in Archbishop Paul's course of life. Indeed, he faced many troubles. One of these is his current kidnapping. It's a cross to him and to us. Nevertheless, I'm sure that, as he always did, the rosary is still in his hand, invoking God's providence on his behalf and ours too. How can we keep lighting the torch of hope in our life? The stress and the worries consume all our spiritual oxygen. The emigration and living far from our usual spiritual shelters provided in our mother countries often produce in us a state of complaint. We have spoken often about this state to Sayyidina Boulos. To him, the solution is to get back to our inner spiritual life as often as it can be. Indeed, when we were students of theology at Balaman, the Dean, Father Paul at that time, frequently called us for a simple meeting in his office. We had lovely conversations with genuine smile, interrupted by lapses of very pleasant silence. That allows this smile to illuminate even the most hidden curves of our hearts. The activity always ended with a reading taken from a spiritual book. This meeting meant to take us out of the dryness of the study and the pressure of the internal life at the Institute of Theology. Now, we have this experience as an example to follow. That is, to take refuge in and activate our inner life in order to keep lighting the torch of hope. In pastoral work, Archbishop Paul always strove to create, through groups, committees, and activities, tools that draw the faithful's attention to change their desires, according to Saint Isaac's expression, so that they enjoy the blessed atmosphere at church. I think the result often overcame every expectations, especially among young people. I remember when I was at the university that I participated in a camping retreat at the monastery of Our Lady in the town of Sa'in near Tartus, where Father Paul at that time used to organize such retreats. There I came for the first time to leave the sacrament of confession. We sat for like an hour. I spoke a lot. He advised me less, and the silence occupied more than half of the time. Not always the spiritual father could find answers or give recipes to the complex situations of his spiritual children. Sometimes it's enough for them to feel that they are heard and loved, that they are important to the Lord's eyes. At the last day of the retreat, the loveliest phrase to my mind was that of Peter. It's good to be here, O Lord. Now that I read what I have written above, I notice something in common among the three experiences about hope, inner life, and pastoral work. Silence is very important in Metropolitan Paul's spiritual priorities. Not as an absence, but I would say as a sacred space for spiritual creativity. That is why I have chosen this title, Paul's Silence, with the exclamation mark, because admiration leads to gratitude. Indeed, I thank God for the blessing I have got from these experiences. May the prayers of His Eminence Metropolitan Paul accompany all of us, and may the Lord our God keep shining His mercy on him and on all the kidnapped persons for His glory. Amen. Thanks.